Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast.
A very warm welcome to the latest edition of the PharmaSource podcast. Today, delighted to be joined by Diana Alarcón, Business Development Manager from Prasfarma, one of our CDMO Live sponsors. Diana, a very warm welcome.
Thank you for inviting me to this podcast, and I'm very pleased to talk with you about our company and this opportunity.
Thank you. We look forward to the conversation today. So, Diana, just to start with then, perhaps you could just give me a brief introduction to you, your role, and also to the business, and maybe a bit about what makes you unique for customers.
Okay, well, about me in Prasfarma, as you well mentioned, I am Business Development Manager, and I am in charge of all the new opportunities that may arise regarding to our services that we will discuss more next. But we are very focused in the development and manufacture of clinical batches and commercial batches of products for oncology and HPAPI, high potency products. Well, I am in charge of these new opportunities and having the close contact with all the customers. Regarding for Prasfarma, as you mentioned, we are a CDMO. We are very focused on oncology products and high potency products, as I mentioned. And our main values are that we are a very flexible company, as we work on tailor-made projects for our customers in order to adapt their needs. We have a huge experience in this product that we have mentioned, mainly in cytostatics. We offer 360 services. We try to cover all the process in a drug development since the early phases of research until the commercial supply, having this flexibility that I mentioned earlier.
Thank you very much. If we look to where we are now, so about a third of the way through 2024, how has the year been for Prasfarma so far?
As maybe you may know, one of the most important challenges that we have faced up is to adapt our facilities and machinery to the Annex-1. And for this reason, we have done investments in new technologies for fresh drying. And moreover, we have increased our production and analytical department. So we are expanding our facilities and adapting them to the Annex-1.
Great. Okay. And certainly Annex-1 is certainly one of the themes that we'll be exploring in a bit more detail at CDMO Live, which is great, and we're all looking forward to that. What about as a business? What are the main products and services that you're investing in? Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about those key areas of investment.
Okay, well, the main product that we are working now is on oncology products, especially lyophilized and high potency products. And we are working with high-value molecules such as ADCs. Our goal services, as I mentioned before, cover from developments and transfer, including analytical validation, analytical transfer, technical transfer, stability studies, regulatory support, the manufacturing of technical and GMP batches. And of course, we can manufacture commercial batches too. So we cover all of these services for new drug development.
Okay. Obviously, for a CDMO, capacity is obviously always an important dynamic. What capacity does the business have currently for your services? And do you have any plans to increase that capacity as we move forward?
Our capacities are adapted to tailor-made production, so we can manufacture both small batches, such as clinical batches, until commercial batches. So we can manage, for example, from 1,000 vials in a production until 3,000, 4,000. But we have done a great investment in in freeze drying machinery. In the following years, we will be able to manufacture up to 17,000 vials or lyophilized vials. Moreover, we can manufacture not only liquid forms, but also solid forms. An important investment that we have done recently is in a pre-filled syringe machinery.
Okay, thank you. Shifting focus a little bit to talking about your customers, those customers that you work with, those that you'd like to work with. What's the ideal customer for you as a business? Is that a particular phase of development, or is it, a certain type of manufacturing, location, specialism? What's that ideal customer look like?
Well, our ideal customers are startups. It's companies that are starting a new development and with high value molecules. But we work with pharmaceutical companies and research groups too. So those are our ideal customers. And concretely, we work with customers that need a close approach, because we are very close with them. We try to understand the needs, their problems, and we try to help them as much as we can. As we were discussing, we adapt our productions to the requirements, so we can manage clinical batch projects, for example, or the commercial supply. Moreover, we are working with worldwide customers, so we work with European customers in the US and in other countries. And an important issue is that we work under the GMP, even the pilot plant.
One of the most important themes in the industry in recent years, and certainly now, is obviously around sustainability. The industry is very focused on reducing Scope 3 emissions. As a business at Prasfarma, how are you supporting this drive to sustainability? What are your plans for reducing your own and your customers' carbon footprint? What does that look like?
A good question and very interesting, because it's a topic that is very important during these days. Last year, in 2023, we published our first sustainability memories. And in this memory, our main goal is the self-consume. So in order to reduce the carbon footprint, we are buying green energy, and we are trying to self-generate the energy by solar panels and reusing the total of the water that we are using now.
That's very good to hear. Great. And then again, thinking about the services that you offer and what's been happening in the market globally, what's one market trend, Diana, that you believe that our PharmaSource listeners should have front of mind in the second half of this year and as we go forward into 2025?
Well, the first one, to adapt to the Annex-1,
yeah,
very important point. Second one, to achieve the sustainability goals that we have planned. And finally, to be flexible in changing and increasing market.
Okay. As I mentioned, we're certainly looking forward to hearing more on Annex-1 for sure within CDMO Live.
It will be very interesting and important for all of us.
Absolutely. We're very much looking forward to that session. Diana, final question for today. What advice would you give to biotechs and to pharma companies when partnering with a CDMO? What are the things that you see that work well? What are some of the problems that you see? And how would you advise these companies in those relationships?
Okay, our advice is trying to find a company, a partner that is not just a supplier, but is a partner that wants to work with you through the path. because difficulties and problems come up, and together it's easier to get over. So as I mentioned previously, we try to have a close approach with our partners. And the main problems that we are seeing these days are the inflexibility of some companies, poor transparency, and poor willing to help. So we are very focused on having a close relationship with our partners and making great efforts to understand their needs and problems and to help them like a real partner.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. That makes sense. And I think that's really talks to the importance of those relationships, beyond the selecting the right partner, of course, but just in really understanding the business, the challenges, etc., and that close working relationship being so important. Diana, thank you very much for your time today. We look forward very much to the conversation within CDMO Live on Annex-1. We really look forward to that conversation. Diana, thanks again very, very much, and we look forward to hearing more from the business in a few weeks' time.
Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Join us at CDMO Live on June the 13th. All you need to do to register is head to pharmasource.global/CDMO Live. We look forward to seeing you there.